We are inviting Dr. Moshin Qureshi. He is the fiscal year 2020 International Collaboration Award. And very happy to have him here for the interview. And we also appreciate Dr. Qureshi's cooperation. And let us really congratulate your award. Thank you very much. And also,
Thank you.
Congratulations. おめでとうございます。
おめでとうございます。
Thank you very much. I appreciate the efforts by the JSCE in recognizing the international researchers.
That is our honor way to find out the excellent or very high potential engineer here. And thank you very much for receiving that award. Okay, so please, Dr. Qureshi, could you start your presentation?
So currently I am working in Sohar University in the city of Sohar, Oman. And my position is head of research and development. And at the same time, I am the faculty member in the Department of Civil Engineering.
Yes.
All right, so let me give you some brief about my past. My home university from where I got the degree of Bachelor of Civil Engineering, that is in the city of Taxila.
Wow.
Taxila is an ancient city, and if you see a right-hand side picture, so it has many civilizations in history being resided over here. So for the knowledge, about 2,700 years ago, there was an ancient university, probably first or second university in the world. And the ruins of these universities are still available and classified as World Heritage Site. So my university is very close to this ancient university, so that is a good connection. So actually, the Taxila city is famous for the city of cut stone. From the very beginning, during the ancient civilization, the city was famous for like crafting the things with the stone. So that's my home university in Pakistan. I studied from 2001 to 2005. Then after the graduation, I have been appointed by a consultancy firm, and they deployed me to their office in Muscat. The project there was the construction of the highest dam in Oman. It was around 75-meter high compacted concrete dam. And I joined their team, which is full of expert researchers and designers in 2005. That I just want to show one picture on the top. If you can see the situation of site in 2005, where we have a frequent visit to the site with the experts. And then in 2013, I got a chance to visit the site again with the full construction of the dam.
The same place, huh?
Yes, this is almost the same place. Yeah, with the transition of time.
Right.
And if you see, the bottom is the aerial view of the dam, and
Right.
in the top right picture, I'm standing somewhere over here. So while working on a dam project for like almost 2 years, I realized the importance of higher education and also being advised by the experts on the design team. And I set to explore the opportunity to get the higher education. Another incident occurred during the year 2005 was the 2005 Kashmir earthquake, which left with a huge disaster. And that was a turning point for me to select Japan. And I set to apply for admission to Todai. And I realized that with the world-class facilities to study about the earthquake and the ground movement, I will really get good knowledge and bring back some expertise to the country to make the development for earthquake resilient structures. Then with this motivation, I joined the University of Tokyo as a master's student in 2006 and completed 2 years, graduated from the master's degree and entered in the doctoral program and finishing the PhD in civil engineering, and the major was geotechnical engineering in 2011. The stay in Todai was very interesting, and I have learned a lot in terms of like field research as well as laboratory research in the field of civil engineering. You can see on the left top, this machine was manufactured during my stay with the help of other researchers at the lab, geotechnical lab in Todai. And this was considered at that time the only machine in the world to reproduce the weathering process of rocks as it's happening in the field. On the bottom left, I also want to mention about my host family. Todai has a very interesting program to introduce the international student to the local alumni of the civil engineering department. Actually, Mr. and Mrs. Miyake served me very well during my stay. And we used to have very interesting meetings frequently, also year-end meetings as well. But we still have a good connection with Mrs. Miyake, and we exchange the emails and the recent news about our lives, so that the connection is still strong with the host family. This was one field trip that I have taken with the labs of Todai and Saitama University. Actually, these type of trips organized by the university are providing very good opportunity for students to discuss and explore contemporary issues in the field and give a good chance to interact with other researchers from other universities. So every year, like our lab in the summer organized such trip, and that also developed the young researchers, introduce them to some expert researchers or expert engineers while visiting on ongoing civil engineering projects. After I graduated, I came back to my hometown and joined the University of Wah, and with some considerable knowledge about laboratory testing, the university asked me to develop the labs for civil engineering program, and that was not a difficult task at that time after getting good knowledge from Japan. So we managed to develop the labs which are fulfilling the demands of civil engineering program at the University of Wah. And currently it's been utilized by a student. That was a good example of like technology transfer. Then after a year of service in University of Wah, I got an opportunity to join Sohar University. Sohar University is situated in the coastal city of Sohar, which is about 200 kilometers northwest of the capital, Muscat. So actually this is, if you travel from Muscat to Emirates, Dubai, so Sohar falls in the middle. So it's like just take 2 hours from Muscat to Sohar. So just want to share here about the history. According to some local stories, if you know, the Sinbad the sailor started his journey from the port of Sohar. So that's the city is famous for. Here again, I got involved in the civil engineering program, The university has 6 faculty and more than 6,000 students, and established 20 years ago. So I joined the civil engineering program and helped in the development of infrastructure to provide the program. You can see there is a lot of site visits has been organized, and helping the student in achieving their projects. Also, we have employed some Japanese standards in the curriculum, like Japanese Geotechnical Society testing standard were introduced and now in the use and part of the curriculum. To my surprise, in Sohar University, the number of female students are much higher than the number of the male students, which contradicts the practice of civil engineering all over the world. Like in Todai, the number of male students in civil engineering program are higher. But in here in Sohar University and in Oman, more young women are interested in studying civil engineering as compared to men. So if you go in the civil engineering class in Oman, so a majority will be the female. So more young female engineers are going to make difference in the world.
You should tell to Japan, right? Okay.
Apart from like teaching at the faculty, I've been involved for like arranging some activities for researchers to develop and nurture them. We are organizing international conferences. And last year, this is a screenshot from last year's conference, which was organized online due to restrictions of the pandemic. That was the 4th in the series. We have participants from all over the world and more than 100 participants. So this type of activity are also helping to develop the profile of the university and opening the ways for future collaborations. All right, so international activities. So I've been a good connection with the Japanese engineers and researchers. We meet in several conferences all over the world. I like here 2 years back we met with Kosuke Sensei. He's the like head of geotechnical engineering at Todai currently. Also, we met with in 2009 December Professor Tohata. He came to Lahore, Pakistan, and if you see here, he's the Japanese researcher in Todai, and all others are the Pakistani civil engineering students of Professor Tohata. All those guys got their PhD or masters under the supervision of Professor Tohata. So that was a good reunion for the civil engineer from Todai. Also back in 2013, I had a chance to meet Professor Tohata in France in the 18th International Conference of Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering. So we have some collaborative activity and some outcomes in the form of publications. Okay, so like what's happening nowadays with my research and civil engineering activities in Oman. So some part of Oman is desert, and to build infrastructure on desert is problematic. We need to like do ground improvement for the desert, and that should be sustainable, because the world is talking about sustainability. So everything we do now, from now onward, should not affect the future generations. So we have started working on the bio improvement of desert sand. If you can see a sample which is bio-treated and tested for strength. So somehow, by using this biomaterial, we managed to improve the shear strength of the sand to make it suitable for the development of infrastructure. But still a lot of study is going on. Oman is like having an area of 350,000 kilometers square, and still a lot of development is going to come in the future in terms of development of railway and road infrastructure that will pass through the desert. So in future, there will be a lot of ground improvement operations in the country. The second thing we are working on also is a sustainability topic, is about recycling. Recycling practice in Oman is again in the embryonic stage, and there is a lot of scope to work in this field. So what we do, we are just starting to propose the use of industrial waste in civil engineering applications. Currently, we are working on utilizing of marble waste and some reservoir sediments to mix it with dune sand to improve the properties of dune sand. This is the most recent one. This is actually a cross-disciplinary research to address the challenges of fourth industrial revolution, like to have some digital fabrication in the field of construction. So we are planning here to develop a concrete 3D printer, and still we are in the manufacturing stage. However, we did some trial and developed the additive that is going to be used for this 3D concrete 3D printing. You can see here some initial trials of crafting the layers with the developed additive. So this is one of the future plan, and this is a cross-disciplinary research. Finally, just I wanted to show here that somewhere back, more than 12 years, we invited with the Japanese researchers in the city of Taxila. Like at that time, I was studying in Japan. So we have invited researchers from Kodai, and we had a visit to the historical sites in Taxila. Also, last year, the researcher from Todai visited the Sohar University, and he was happy to see the laboratory that has been developed by using the expertise from Japan. He was interested to use the facilities to have some future collaboration.
What contribution will you like to do? Also, what contribution you think that you will be able to do?
All right. So one important fact the civil engineers can deal is to resource efficient civil engineering structure. Like we need, when we are doing the civil engineering project, so there is a lot of resource utilization, and we are depleting the natural resources. So we need to look on some other alternatives or reuse the waste to see how the waste can be reutilized to build up the structures. So this is one way in which a good practice can be done. In some countries, this is already happening, but in some countries, this is not at all happening. So we need to work more in this area, in the civil engineering. Secondly, introduction of the modern technologies in the civil engineering. We are aiming to build a concrete 3D printer. So and also the cross-disciplinary interaction with the other fields, how the civil engineers can play an important role for fourth industrial revolution, and also how civil engineer can contribute and get benefit from automation. Also, if how the building structures can be more smart and energy efficient in the future. So we can use the techniques of artificial intelligence and machine learning to make the structure more smart and useful for the public. And at the same time, those should be energy efficient.
And in terms of the, the cross-disciplinary approach, what discipline do you think is necessary for the civil engineers to acquire to build the future society?
Recently, like for example, sustainability. Still, in many parts of the world, sustainability is not taught in the civil engineering program.
I see.
So that can be like one module in the civil engineering program on like sustainability, because we need to think globally. Right. So sustainability approach has to be adopted in like all the future development. Sustainability should also be emphasized at the course level in the undergraduate program. So because we are today the young engineers, and tomorrow they will be the leaders. So we need to think now how to develop them so that they already know what will be the challenges in the future. So I would say that sustainability should be taught in the civil engineering program as well.
I would like to ask your life in Japan. What was the difficult part of your research life in Japan?
The first hurdle is the Japanese language. So yeah, so that was like compensated by offering some Japanese language program to the newly arriving student and get them familiar with the culture and society and the Japanese language. So that's a matter of few months, and that is resolved. Next, some students are coming from developing countries, like having an undergraduate degree from a developing country. So, and entering into the educational system of developed Japan, that takes a little bit of time. Right. However, the professors provide full support to the new students, and this problem is I would not say problem, I would say learning, chance of learning is given by the school itself. So these are some challenges, but the life in the school at Todai is very interesting, and I had an interaction with I would say half of the people from half of the world, because Todai is hosting researchers from all over the world, and in each lab there are students coming from different countries. So that is also a good chance to meet the people from all over the world. So that is also a very interesting experience. If you see on the right hand side is the map of the globe of the world, published by Science Magpie. And if you see, it's like 24 hours, you can see here. So if we compress the history of the world in 24 hours, okay? So starting from here, the evolution of Earth started and various events has been occurred. Like moon and other celestial bodies are formed after 30 million years of the evolution of Earth. So that is here after 2 hours. So this is our scale in 24 hours. So many events occur, like at the 9th hour, which is equivalent to 1.7 billion years, the bacteria begin to produce the oxygen. And finally, we going round the clock. Let us come here when the first dinosaur appeared at the 10 o'clock, 22 hours. So that is 4.27 billion years. Okay, if we are going to coming to the end of the clock, so in the last 4 seconds, the modern human appears. Okay, so before the appearance of modern human, our Earth was very stable. So with the appearance of modern humans, we try to face a lot of problems, like climate change, pollution, food insecurity. So the message here is that now we have the future. So being a civil engineer is a big responsibility to develop the society. So you need to play an important role in the future development and make the world more sustainable. The recent issue faced by the planet Earth is the climate change. So now the world needs a climate resilient infrastructure to survive in extreme events. So as a civil engineer, then you design, think globally and design locally. Like your project is based, for example, in Japan or in UK or in Oman or in Pakistan. But when you design, so you should think that what will be the effect your project is going to make all over the world, like using sustainable materials, using sustainable design approaches, something like that. So cross-disciplinary research is also important. We may not focus only to the civil engineering principles, but we have to jump to other fields and see how the other fields of engineering can impact or can enhance the design in civil engineering. And team working is very important for your development or development of the organization and the production of any structure or project that you are working on. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris-san. Thank you very much. It's a great interview and great messages that you gave us.
Yeah, that was really very interesting. And that I feel well connected to Japan.
Yes.
Like I was 10 years ago. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.